So we have a bunch of questions that came in on Facebook. Cassidy wants to know, how do you help an individual, a child or an adult on the autism spectrum that are high functioning with executive functioning deficits and poor time management and life skills? So, you know, it's funny because at one of the other ones, I said, oh, I think that's me. But I look at that and I go, yeah, sometimes I have poor time management skills too. Because I think we all can run that way.
Yeah, we all can easily do that.
It's why so many executives have business coaches, because they're not good at that. These are people running companies. But there's your question is still valid, Cassidy. How do you help somebody with that? To be able to do the executive functioning deficits and poor time management and life skills. Of course, I think about the fact that we just earlier showed the commercial for Skills Living,
yes.
Which has a lot of those lessons. But having said that, what would you like to say?
I say it's for EF deficits, it's all compensation. Okay? It's learning to recognize what the issue is, learning for that person to have a goal to want to fix that, because if they don't want to fix time management and they don't see a problem with it, they're not going to work on it.
Okay.
But a lot of times it's compensation. Compensatory.
So what you're saying is not having this expectation that someday you're just going to be great at that thing that you're not good at,
yes.
but that you find a way around it.
You find a way to work through it to get to where you want to be.
Okay. So if you can't remember to bring your homework, you find a place to put it so the night before, so that you don't have to think of it that morning.
Yeah. So it's all the people who lay out their clothes the night before to get dressed. It's all the people who, I was saying that about using your phones.
Yes.
All my teens all hated writing in their agenda, but most of them are happily taking pictures of all the homework in all their classes.
So then they have it.
Yeah, they have it, and they don't have to look somewhere, and they love their phones, and they will go to it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people who refuse the paper-written agendas, and they will happily put it into their calendar on the phone. I'm one of those people. I just remember the first time doing this job when I triple booked myself, a personal appointment, my kid's appointment, and a work appointment.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I need everything in one place.
Yeah.
I needed it all on one agenda, one calendar, because when it's everywhere else, then I'm only looking and I'm only focused on these other areas. So it's a lot about teaching compensation. That's like, what method do you learn best? What method is easiest for the individual, and then putting it in that form. And the thing is, what we forget is so many of our kids on the spectrum, we have a goal for them, but maybe they don't. And they have to have the buy-in. You have to have the buy-in for them to understand, why do I need to use a calendar or an appointment or a reminder or a timer? You know, if they have to really want to do whatever it is, or have at least get to a place where, you know, they want to be able to function in that environment.
Yeah.
And once you get the goal, it's usually just a planning. It's an EF planning of how to get there, and just like working through and then practice.
Yeah.
Showing them that you have to practice the skill before you get good at it and using it, and where it's very functioning. It makes you a very functional individual in whatever environment they want to be. And earlier I had said something about not knowing what's important. So many of our kids don't understand what's important.
Yeah.
You know, the saliency is just an EF skill in its own self. And you might think one thing's important, and they might think something else is. And it's, you know, that's when you're clashing with parents, you know.
And sometimes, you know, we were talking about technology and how great technology is, and there are apps that you can search to see which app helps to do whatever. I get a little overwhelmed when looking up the apps, because then you pick one and it's not the one, then you have to delete it off your phone, and by that time I'm like, I'm over it, I'm done with it. But I will tell you, Cassidy, one of the things that I've started doing is going around to people that I see that are good at things and going, how is it that you do that? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you find that they go, oh, I have this app and it's the only thing that gets me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. So looking for somebody that you admire that is able to demonstrate those qualities, and saying, how do you organize your calendar? How do you organize your email? I'm always fascinated now. I met somebody the other day who apparently is the queen of Outlook. and I said, emails get past me. It's like one of my biggest problems right now, that I meet people and I say to them, email me. And if I don't get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, assume that I missed the email and send another one. And I feel like
that's what I do.
I feel horrible saying that to people, because it's like a big sign saying, I don't, have the EF for that figured out, the executive functions for it. But I met this young woman and she was like, I got you. I will show you how to do that so you will never miss another email. And I know people have a way of organizing their Outlook. So, you know, because I don't know, Cassidy, if you're asking for yourself or for somebody else, but if it's for you, it might help to go to another college student and say, what do you use? Or go to one of your college professors and say, what have you seen students use, to let you know what other people are using. And then you can try it. If it doesn't work, you know, move on.
Yeah, but everybody needs some help. Everybody needs some help. And executive function skills are the last part of your brain to develop. So that's not a thing to worry about. It's just as long as you're developing.
There you go.
So just, you know, you can keep learning, figure out new ways how to do things, figure out what works for you. And, you know, everybody has something different. You know,
absolutely.
There's things that I love about my Outlook and there's things I hate about my Outlook.
Right? Me too.